Greetings from home, dear ones. I am the keeper of time. And it is time. Yes, it is. It is time to start revealing some of the next steps for all of you. You've all stepped willingly and gleefully into this future. You've expected the greatest possibilities, and you've gone through all the challenges to clear the energy to make that step. And now you're looking around trying to see your reflection, and it's very difficult. The world has changed. You have as well. And you're just finding out about it. You're just now anchoring, because what is happening is many of the things that you have always done successfully, whatever they are, even if they are not in your passion, perhaps it was possible you were the one that could always balance the checkbook, okay? Whatever your gifts are, it makes no difference. But all of a sudden, a lot of those passions are just there. They're just there. They're not returning the energy that you used to put into them. The world has changed, literally. Now, what is taking place is the easiest way to determine this or to perceive this is to understand that you've moved fully into the fifth dimension and you're still trying to use your limited three dimensions in the fifth dimensional reality. So you're still waking up in the morning, looking at everything exactly as you left it the night before, looking for your passion, your place in the universe where you can pick up the next day, and you're not seeing it. And what is taking place is it's causing a panic on Earth. Very quiet panic, for it has not hit the front pages of your newspapers. It has simply, everyone has a slight doubt about themselves during these times. Now, that is as it should be, because what you are discovering very quietly is that the world has changed. It has shifted very drastically, and you are starting to see a new perception of yourself. But like the old third dimensions, you only had a limited view. In other words, here, if you extrapolate that into the very simple parts of height, width, and depth, and call the third dimensional reality only three dimensions of experiencing it in that form, well, suddenly you have new dimensions of time and space, where you can see an overview of everything for perhaps the first time. It is truly what happens when beings move between dimensions. But you must also understand this has very rarely happened anywhere in the universe. For this is not the norm. The norm would be what you spoke of earlier, to wipe out 99% of the planet and bring it back in a new energy and grow it in a different way and take your time to grow it over very long periods of time. That is the path of humanity previously. But now what has happened is you have awakened from this dream. And right now at this moment, most of you are looking around and seeing that something is different. And some of you may be going into this wonderful human panic that we love to see. For many times it returns you home. When you go into panic, you start searching for answers. Curious. We love that part of it. But what takes place is that you start to ground yourself in a new way. Most of your grounding has been of the physical body, for that is the part of the earth, that is the dust that you have breathed life into with your spirit. That is how you have evolved in this way. And now what is taking place is that you are relocating all of it and basically turning and looking at a new place. The world has changed. And you are acclimating all of it. Each one of you on an individual basis as well as on a collective basis. All of your collectives, whether you call that a group of friends, a corporation, a business, a religion, or a government, it makes no difference. All of them must go through these collective changes, and how they anchor on the new side will determine their life going forward. For many of them will not be able to fully anchor. if there are integrity problems with internal vibrations, they will come to the surface very quickly. So any challenges that sometimes would take years to develop in a collective group will now come to the surface very, very quickly. It will almost seem as if there is very little time to adjust. And yes, certain collectives will fall apart. They will not make the transition. And others will. And all of you will learn the secrets of learning to look at yourself in a new way. And that is the aspects of what you are learning to do. Now, why has it changed so drastically? What are the aspects that are no longer there in the same way? Well, there has been an energy on earth that all of you have anchored your hearts into. And that is the part that has been released. You did it. It was not done for you. It was not done around you or to you. It was done with your permission and your asking. For what has taken place is all of the things that you have given power to will not reflect your power in the same way. Now, some of these may be belief systems for you. Some of them may be relationships. Some of them may be the way you see yourself expressed in the world, perhaps through a job or through whatever it is that you do in the world. All of these passions need to be reevaluated at this point. You have given your power to so many things. You are creator beings, but you cannot see that. That is part of the veil that keeps you from seeing all of it. But what is taking place is that energy of creation has increased in all of you. You have not been able to fully anchor it yet. Everything looks the same. But you understand you are only 5 months away from this transition that you've gone through. You are still acclimating all the pieces that are still falling around you. So finding your place during these transitionary times is very challenging. So this is where we ask you to connect to each other. And we tell you this as well, for we will be working with this over a period of time. There have been energy fields on planet Earth that have been activated throughout the ages. Many of them are what was originally created by the pyramids themselves. They are generators. They are not active generators in the way that you would think of them, for you think of generating electricity using almost barbaric methods. Energy is all around you in every moment. Energy simply must be transmuted instead of generated. And that's what the pyramids did for very long. Do not worry, it's for us. We'll get it later. But the whole purpose of this was to create an energy on earth that would thrive every part of living beings everywhere. It would create an active, thriving energy. Most of the places where you see pyramids even today, it is somewhat barren. There are many places where these brought the life force energy from earth. And they distributed it in a beautiful network that allowed everyone on earth to tap into it. Yes, of course, the energy would grow the nearest at the base of the pyramids. Many farms were around there. Were any places where they grew food. Sorry, you cannot understand my words through his mouth. But that is what is ultimately taking place, is this energy was so beautiful that it brought the essence to Gaia herself. And now, as this has been deleted, for they have been shut off to some degree, but the network is still there. That is the beautiful part. And what we will all be working on is connecting our hearts through this same network that used to protect the earth. For the network is still in place. It is the energy that has changed. It has been shut off quite some time ago, but it does not keep the connection from connecting. And because of those connections, you can use this grid for your heart energy. And that will be taking place very soon. In In fact, there are many aspects of this that you can use. I will share one with you here that I have shared a very long time ago on your earth. It was known as the Lemurian energy reservoir. It's a very simple concept, and all of you can use this every day of your life if you will just use it. There is a very sacred space. It does not exist within your dimension, but it holds energy perfectly. Almost as if it was a storage. Almost like you would consider you store electricity in your batteries and your capacitors. It would be a similar type of energetic like that. But it is very large, and it has been used by many beings throughout the universe. The only time it was ever used on planet Earth was in the days of Lemuria, where they knew how to attack it and use it consciously. Well, this place is a place where each and every one of you can balance your own individual energy. If you will make contact with it during your meditations, if you will find that space and representations of those spaces within your physical space as well. In other words, a place that feels really good to you, whether it's a corner of the room or a sacred space. It could even be in the bathroom. It makes no difference as long as it rejuvenates you. And find those spaces where you can use it. And here is the key. For all humans have variations in energy that are very difficult for you to control at these points. Because in a moment you'll find all this energy coming in and you're not able to ground it, and it simply has to go through you onto something else. So here's what you'll do during those times where you are full of energy and everything is just glowing. Sparks are coming out of your eyes and all the rest of it. You take a moment and you think about that sacred space. And you send that extra energy to the Lemurian energy reservoir. And it holds it for you. Not just for you, but for everyone who deposits into it. And then, of course, there are all the human times that you are aware of, that you know that you're going to run out of energy, or you're simply going to have what you call a bad day. Oh yes, we've watched you. You have, and please have all the bad days you wish. It is a beautiful human experience from our perspective. So we do not judge it as good or bad. It is simply a beautiful human experience. So please understand, but in those moments when you are uncomfortable in the physical body because of a lack of energy, draw from the reservoir. Return to your sacred space if you need to, or just build it up in your mind and pull the energy from the reservoir. And it will work for each and every one of you the same way you temporarily store electricity in many of your circuits. You can do the same with physical and energies on many different levels as well. And over periods of time, over the next several months, we will all be building a network where we can utilize the framework and the network that is already in place. For dear ones, for a long time, it was protecting your earth. This is one of the reasons you have had such a long stretch of your evolution. There are many meteors and comets that would come into planet Earth and cause many of these resets of planet Earth. And many times wiped out Earth, wiped out most of the life forms on planet Earth so that it could reset and start over again. But then there came a time where you were going to be protected. Well, that is where the pyramids came from. This originally was a network. And of course, it did not all come at once. It was built over many long periods of time. And even though the original instructions were lost, the copied pyramids that kept being built after that were fairly close, and close enough to even interact some of them into the original grid. So for thousands of years after the original pyramids were built, there was a network that protected you. And it allowed Earth to evolve and to evolve life in many different aspects, not just your form. And it worked. And it's very magical. And then there came the times where the beings that helped you create that left, they did so out of the greatest of love. Please understand that. Obviously, this technology is beyond what you have experienced on Earth. And we love the fact that you all humans always think that you're at the top of the evolutionary spiral. It is a beautiful illusion that all humans always expect, and we love it. It is perfect for you. It fits, so to speak. But obviously, there are beings all over the universe. There are beings on your Earth that you know nothing about. There are dimensions of time and space that exist. There are microbial units that you still have not found that will all be coming to Earth in different ways. But the most important part of all of this is you. For you are the ones that carry the most of the spirit from home. And although you can look in the face of a dog or a cat or an animal of any kind and you can see a spirit, because that consciousness is represented in all forms of life, even the cockroaches that grow on the ground. Oh, you did not like that one, did you? We placed you in the same category as cockroaches and you were not happy. Okay. We will learn, too, to deal with you. But the idea is this: evolution. You are here. You did not have to die this time. You did not go down to 1%. All of you made it. You've stepped into something consciously. Do not expect it to be the same as your previous evolutionary cycles. Of course it will be more direct. You have walked into a new dimension with your eyes open. You just can't figure out what you're seeing yet. But you are very close. And all we ask you to do is to keep your mind open. For human minds are like traps. They love to grasp things and put them in little boxes and put names on them and date them and set them in a time frame and store them somewhere in your beautiful brain. Well, we'll ask you to be patient with that. Because much of what you are starting to understand is still in an evolutionary cycle. And in only a few days, you will probably see it slightly different than you are seeing it even now. So this is the time of change that all of you have dreaded and look forward to. You've made it. Now what do you do? And that is the question. How do you anchor your spirit here now? Well, each of you will find different ways. Each of you will be given guidance. You will find that your heart has carried a passion all of your life in different areas, not for you, for us. It is your directed purpose on earth. It is what you have agreed to experience. So when some of you walk up to your passion and say, oh, this is too much fun, I must be doing something of work, not of fun, and we all go, oh my goodness, we took all this energy to get you to your passion and now you want to go do something else. Embrace it, dear ones. You do not have to have your work energy separate from your passion any longer. You are grand beings living in the fifth dimension. You can have it all. And you can have it all now. Yes, we know many of you are experiencing challenges because you have set your goals and you have gone stepping one foot in front of the other, aiming toward that goal. And suddenly everything is shifting. Your goal's over here and your direction's over here. And you don't quite know where to go. The power was never in the goal. The power was in the step that you made toward it. And you can always change that direction at any moment, any time. It is the planet of free choice. And that will never be taken from you, dear ones. You can even choose to not play the game if you wish. It is entirely up to you. But once you step forward, we will take you seriously. And we will place the wind at your back so that you can accomplish what you came to do. Because now is the time. Now is the time. The world has changed. And you are awakened from the dream. I will step aside for just a moment to bring my crazy brother in. For he will simply not let me finish this without coming in, so I will do that. But I am the keeper of time. Oh, there you are, and I'm Ilran. You know me already. Oh, yeah. I had to come in and give you one of my grand smiles. There you go. How about that one? Not good? That's pretty good. Well, most of you smiled back. That's the most important part of this whole thing. I got your heart, you know that. When you smile real big, your heart lights up. And that's the beautiful part about it. I don't need to add anything to the message that's already been delivered to you, except for one important piece. Just whenever you get lost, and you can't quite remember who you are, just smile your way home. Your heart knows the way, and it'll always protect you. You're playing a beautiful game. It's almost like we've turned you loose in the backyard, and you can't get hurt out there. It's beautiful. Everything's all taken care of for you. So you're just going to go out there and play. And sure, there's things we'd rather you not do, but we know you're human, and we know you're going to do it all. So go do it. The only piece that we're going to ask you to do is this judgment of yourself. That's like slapping God in the face. Think about it. Think about it clearly. You're given all this message, and the moment you say, I don't think I can do it, I don't think I'm good enough, all the way back, all the energy it took to get you that beautiful message has now been slapped all the way back. And it takes a while to build it back up. You want to talk about the dark energies on planet Earth? You want to talk about the black energies? You want to talk about negativity? You want to talk, none of it is quite as harmful as self-doubt. All we're trying to do is give you just a little bit of this spiritual confidence to where you can walk around with it. You can dare to make mistakes. You don't have to be perfect. You're on the planet. You can be perfect when you come home. Don't worry about it. Go out and make lots of good mistakes now. We'll catch up with you later, and we'll share all those fun mistakes with you, okay? Good. It's with the greatest of honor that we greet you in these fashions. I ask you to treat each other with the greatest of respect, because you're looking in the eyes of God, you know. And the other part about it is, remember, this is a brand new game you're playing. You can make it what you want. Play well together. Espavo, Dios.
Espavo. I hesitated because I wanted to know if anybody else was coming in. I think that's all for today. Is Steve back? Oh, gotta love Elra. The keeper of time. He's distinguished.